Lex Luger is now in the WWE Hall of Fame. He is joining Triple H and Michelle McCool. They're the names so far announced for the 2025 inductees to the WWE Hall of Fame. Lex Luger. Now, I know you're a bit contentious with Lex Luger because every interaction you've ever had with him has been negative. But does he, with his body of work, deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
No, but his name, he was used in such a way on top, main event. And he was the first one who went to, he left Florida. I remember he was there, and he went to Mid-Atlantic, which was the Charlotte territory. And they gave him a pretty good guarantee, and none of the other guys had the guarantees. And that started him off on the wrong foot. And he was kind of in the same boat that Jade Cargill is in. Looked great and big, but not a clue what to do. Not a clue. Because he was a baby face, and they would take him in the ring, and the heel would go out of his way. I mean, that was his job. He would go out of his way to make him look good, plus get pinned, so Lex could look good. And sometimes I heard he came back and didn't even thank his guy he was in the ring with. And that's really a no-no. You always do that, even if it's a bad match. You go in there and you just say, hey, thanks. But he was very hard to work with. I remember I had a partner back in those days, Bobby Jaggers. He's passed away now. We were the Kansas Jayhawks, which I changed my name later to the Kansas Jackoffs. That's what I called ourselves. But he didn't even want to work with us. It was him and Tully Blanchard, and Tully's great. But he didn't want to work with us. And Tully said, you got to be shitting me. Said, you don't want to work with Dutch and Bobby? He said, okay, I'll do it. We went in there. He had us throwing him all around the ring, and he'd take over, and we'd take it back and forth. And finally, after about 5 minutes, we got the people up, and we'd set them down. We'd get them up, and we'd set them down. And finally, he put his hand out to Luger and says, all right, see if you can do that. Oh, he come in there. He was embarrassed as hell. Of course, he couldn't do it. So, I mean, they were heels then. So, and Tully knew what to do. But Luger, he was stiff to work with. He would lock up hard. See, when a guy locks up hard and he hits you in the back of the neck here, that hurts like hell. When he brings it in and he slaps it in there, you can you got hit harder, you'd go out for a second, right on the back of that neck, right there on the spine. So, and he didn't have a clue of what to do. You could call a spot, he wouldn't even know how to do it. So then we had to get Tully back in there, and Tully saw what was going on. He came in. He got all the heat on us. Then he tagged Luger back in, and Luger's in there about a minute. And he said, all right. And he got close, and Tully tagged him. He said, hell, I got the match going. You're not going to take my work and run with it. So, and they got back to the dressing room, and Tully told me later, I said, you see, it's not easy. Just because those guys don't have the body that you have, you think that means anything to these fans? Yeah, you look great. But you said, did you listen to the people when you were in the ring? And Tully, he told me later, and he said he'd sat there and took it. Did he get any better? No. And I don't even know who trained Lex. Possibly nobody. Have you seen Diamond Dallas Page?
I have, yeah.
And Luger together?
Yep, he's trying to train him to stand again. He had like some terrible infection or something like that, and then he just his body just atrophied, and he was in a wheelchair pretty much ever since. So, I mean, it's good that he's finally putting some effort into.
Now, what happened to Lex?
As I say, I'll find out in a second. Let me ask you this. So I know you wrestled here at Lex in '86. I think you probably wrestled Luger in early WCW years, so 90 or maybe around that I don't know when exactly, but then you wrestled him or the Blue Brothers, Jacob and Eli, the Harris boys wrestled Luger and Bulldog at WrestleMania 11.
Yep.
He's always had, when he was active, always had such a horrible reputation in the business. But ever since, he had this terrible illness, he's done such a good job of like rehabbing his image and being like so much more humble and stuff like that. I figured that's actually why he's in the WWE Hall of Fame now. I mean, that being, you've got Coco Beware and Hillbilly Jim and stuff like that, who are also in the Hall of Fame. And, Tori Wilson and everything. Then why not Luger at this point?
No, it's fine. But we know that with Vince Senior, it was who Vince wanted in there, to tell you the truth. And I'm glad they have other people making the decisions. But I heard today, what is his name? The black guy that helped Drazoff or
helped him. You mean D'Lo?
D'Lo. And he said he wouldn't go in unless Darren, what's his name, Drozdov?
Yep.
Unless he goes in there with him because they were big friends, which was good. So that's probably what we're gonna end up with next year, maybe.
Yeah, let me tell you this. Nearly a month after a spinal stroke, Luger was left in a quadriplegic state. But yeah, he's been reliant on a wheelchair ever since 2007. One more thing is, do you get bent out of shape over Hall of Fame inductees these days? Did you ever with WWE?
No, ever. I'm glad they're there. I mean, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But I think how many do they induct a year?
It's less the last few years. It can be 4, 5, 6, something like that. They'll have one faction or tag team, one woman, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They'll cover some bases. But yeah, it's less than they used to be. It's only a few.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it doesn't bother me. People ask me this, why aren't you in the WWE Hall of Fame? I said, I don't know. I didn't do anything up there, to tell you the truth. But I thought it was supposed to be a wrestling Hall of Fame anyway.
No, it's a sports entertainment Hall of Fame. WWE.
Yeah, well.
WWE. There is no WWE isn't wrestling, according to Michael Cole. WWE is entertainment first, and something else and something else and something else. It's not wrestling. So why is the Hall of Fame any different?
That is true. So, you think I'll ever make it?
You could do. Why not?
Maybe. Yeah, why not? I could go out there and say, I'd give a huge speech, lasts about 2 hours. And they start playing music. I said, turn that damn music off. I'm not ready.